Umesikia women rep yenu akimweleza ya kwamba tuko na shida ya finance bill. You've heard Pinky Ponky talk about pesa ambao haifiki mashinani. And you've heard your governor say categorically ya kwamba huku mbele musifikirie ati kuna taa. Hakuna taa. Ni mwangaza tu peke yake. Giza, peke yake. Giza. We have a very serious problem in this country. And that problem is called William Samoei Ruto. Namusikiza vizuri. He is called William Samoei Ruto. He is collapsing our country. Every single day you wake up, every single day you wake up, every single day you go to bed, know that yesterday was better than today. Every single day, he is collapsing our nation economically, morally, socially. And we must ask ourselves this question. Are you going to wait 4 years? Are you going to wait 4 years? Because what country are you going to have in 4 years' time? It is a question we must ask. And we say so here without fear in the house of the Lord. Because we must ask even the church. Kwa sababu zamani, wakati tulikuwa nafanya mageuzi, and the time of the second liberation, we had a very strong fraternity of religious sector. They stood up for Kenyans. They stood up against those who are being detained. Like my good brother Raila, Odinga and Jim here. They stood up against the injustices of death, even for the sake of their own lives. There was a man called Bishop Muge, a Kalenjin from Eldoret, who stood up continuously against Moi, and he mysteriously was killed. But that did not keep the church quiet. Siku hizi ni kama munaogopa. You are talking in platitudes. You are talking this way, this way. One of the key purposes of the church is to stand up for its flock. So I want to ask church members here in Uriri, niambie ukweli. Niambie na please tell me honestly. Is your life better today than it was before the elections? Yes or no?
No.
Do you have more money in your pockets today than you had before the elections?
No.
Haya. Do you have more jobs today than you had before the elections?
No.
Are things more expensive or are they less expensive? Are they more expensive or less expensive?
More expensive.
Haya. You have nothing. Nimesikia huko. Now, ni vizuri mjue, this is the case all over this country. Hata wale wa kwangu huku Murang'a ambao walimpigia huyu kura, they are suffering even more than you here. And no, I'm telling you the truth. Huku shida yao ni nyingi kushinda nyinyi hapa. Hii ni dhuluma ya aina gani hii? What kind of curse do we have in this nation? And the curse is very simple. We have somebody who has decided, akisimama namna hii, I want to cause pain on people. Akiangalia nyinyi mkiwa na furaha, sijui ni nini na muuma, uchungu. You have seen this housing bill, si ndio? Si mumeiona? The housing bill was a bill that nobody wanted. Public participation said they did not support this bill, this levy. They go against it. What you don't know is that when it went to court, it is a tax, lakini kwa budget haiko. It is not in the budget. When it's not in the budget, it means that hiyo pesa sujui, when you are there collecting from you, we don't know where it was going. Now, the court has said it is unconstitutional. And he is still talking as though he has a war with the people. As though anapigana na wananchi. He's telling you, I'm still going on. He can go on with affordable housing. Lakini hiyo tax, that levy, he can no longer collect. Na ile ambao amechukua so far, because we don't even know how much it is. Ama mimi mnajua? Mnajua? Lakini ni pesa yenu. He must return it to the people of Kenya. Arudishe. Kwa sababu hata akileta mswada huku mbele, don't be fooled. It cannot be retrospective. It cannot be backwards. Tuko pamoja? The one he has collected is unconstitutional. Return it to the people of Kenya. And if you do not return it, you have decided you are causing more pain. You have decided you are against the constitution of this land. You have decided to be a thief, contrary to your oath. And we are going to ask the people of Kenya this question. Mutaendelea na hii mtu ama mutaendelea na yeye? Mutakufa tena na tena ama yeye aende? Mutangojea miaka 4 kweli ama aende saa hii? Unajua niuliza watu wa Kiambu namna hiyo, wakaniambia saa hii. I said tumpatie 3 months, wakasema basi. Hiyo ilikuwa Januari. Hiyo ilikuwa sasa ni miezi 2 na ni Kiambu na walimpatia kura. Ako na miezi 2. And we do not issue threats. We do not issue threats. He works for us. We are the ones who have put him there to work for us. He's not our boss. The worker can recall, the boss can recall the worker, can sack the worker. Sindio? He works for us. He is enjoying our taxes. Hata leo si ameenda Italy. That is our ushuru that is taking him there. He works for us. He has 2 more months to show Kenyans he is not about paying to us. Na akikosa hiyo, atajua wananchi wako namna gani. Mimi nataka kumuuliza hivi. Raila akishika hapa, unajua mimi nataka hiyo kiti. Mimi sioni mtu mwingine, mimi naona Ruto. Naona Raila akishika hapa na Jimmy ashike hapa Unpala na Orengo ashike tumbo yake namna hii, mtamshikilia miguu huku chini, mtamkamata huku chini, mtamkamata kabisa. You will not let us down. Let us be very clear about that. We cannot do it alone. We cannot do it without your spirit, without your help. My good friend James talked about a borrower. Proverbs 22:7 says the following. A rich man shall rule over the poor, and a borrower shall be a slave of the lender. Proverbs 22:7. We are now in this country slaves of lenders. And it's important you know that. And every day akitembea, he's making sure we are more and more enslaved. So anything you do, anything you try to do will fail. And I'm not talking doom, ni ukweli. You know, we must be realistic. Si nimekuambia shida ni nani? Ni mtu mmoja. We must be realistic. And we ask ourselves, is this going to continue or not? I plead with the people of Oriri, with all my heart. Injustice in this country, from the time of Mubeberu, wakati wa Mubeberu, who brought independence here? It is the communities of the lake and what was the mountain. Kweli ama si kweli? We are the ones who stood up against the Mzungu colonialist. We are the same ones who stood against a man called Moi, who had become a local tyrant Mzungu colonialist. Tukasema tuwe apende asipende. Aliua watu wengi. But your governor here, for those of you who are young, Musimona, this is a stone. This is a rock. You have a man and a half right here with you. When they were very few, 6 of them in parliament used to be called the bearded sisters. They were marked for assassination, for jailing, for everything. I think there are probably about 2 or 3 of you left standing. Mpigie makofi huyu government. If they could stand up against a tyrant, an African Kenyan colonialist, when this media was not there, when if you spoke like this, ukitoka namna hii unashikwa na police, unawekwa detention without trial. When the only voice was BBC or VOA, na walitoa hiyo kitu called 2A. Mageuzi ikaja ikatoa Moi could not stand again. That is what led to IPPG. Sasa huyu jameni, kweli atatushinda? Kweli atatushinda? Nyinyi mnaona a full term. Mimi nasema you people are very courageous. Mnaweza ngojea another 4 years kwa hii uchungu. If you can, sawa sawa. Lakini one thing I know, Ziwa Victoria na watu wa Mlima Kenya wakishikana, this man is gone in the morning. He's gone in the morning. Na si ukabila. It is the will to stand up and fight that has been proved from time immemorial against injustice. Na hii ni injustice. So I plead to you, kwa sababu tuko kwa kanisa. Tutakuja, we are going to come and talk to you properly on the roads and in your homes. Prepare for what is coming sooner than you can imagine. God bless you. Asanteni sana. We appreciate.
The Kenya government is a dysfunctional government. And we are saying it is dysfunctional. One, when Kenyans thought that they elected Kenya Kwanza as a solution, they turned out to be the problem. And so long as Kenya Kwanza is in government, so to speak, we will continue having the problems that we are having today. When those who voted for Kenya Kwanza thought Kenya Kwanza was the answer, they have discovered that Kenya Kwanza is a disaster. And we are saying so without fear of contradiction, because we are saying it is dysfunctional because we do not have what is called the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. It is not in place. If there was an election to be held anytime in Kenya, there is no Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. And if President Ruto was ready and prepared to answer that question and to determine that it was time to have the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, they would have processed the outcome of the national dialogue in Parliament by today. But that Parliament, and we are saying we have a dysfunctional system and a government because even Parliament has become captive. Parliament is completely captured. And one of the prisoners of the Kenya government is the MP for game. He is completely a prisoner. They took him and his mind. He cannot think also. Because even prisoners have brains. But when you are in prison and your mind is also captured, then you cease to be a human being. How is it that when there was a bill in parliament like Mheshimiwa Kristo Mbaka has said, and that bill proposed that there was going to be drastic increases of taxes, all taxes, including taxes that would impair our living, the lives of ordinary people, that an MP would vote to ensure that your taxes went up, when the easiest solution was to say, no, we are not going to give our people any burdens. The taxes need to go down instead of going up. Ruto said that when he comes into government, he is going to save Kenya from debt. Now, debt is increasing every day. In fact, the biggest problem now we have in Kenya is debt. And when you're indebted, you're also a prisoner.
Yes.
The President of the Republic of Kenya is captured by international financial institutions, and he is also a prisoner. You have a prisoner for a president. If you are indebted, you cannot be a free man, because everywhere he goes, he's being reminded that to pay your debts, pay your debts. I understand he's going to Italy. I'm sure that one of the issues that is going to be brought on the table is the money that they owe to international financial institutions. We got a dysfunctional government. We have a dysfunctional government because life is becoming difficult every day. School fees and many other things that, we should be having a tax relief, we're having a tax burden. So the choice for Kenyans is to stand firm and join with the forces who are represented by our leadership in Azimio and Jimmy Wanjigi here, who are saying we are going on the wrong direction, and we must change course and make sure that Kenya is freed from this slavery and this domination. Raila said yesterday, and I said it earlier, any leader that comes out and says, I've got new jobs to go and be employed in another country, that is not a leader that we can give respect. A good leader is the one who creates jobs in his own country. Like in other countries, they are creating jobs to the extent that they want more people to go to those countries to do jobs that they cannot be able to fill up with their own citizens. This is modern day slavery, that Kenyans are being recruited to go and work all over the world, but these are not professional or technical jobs. These are menial jobs. So there is nothing to be proud about the Kenya Kwanza government. These people have lost direction, and there's no day that we are going to have any relief. Kenya is going to get worse.
Yes.
That is the truth.
Yes.
If anybody thinks that Kenya is going to get relief, it is not going to get that relief. And prayers can help. And indeed, the clergy here, we are asked for prayers. But even God says prayers is not good enough. Hard work is what can bring relief to our country. And prayers also by the wrong people. Not everybody who says, Lord, 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 they say in the Bible, will see the kingdom of God. So when politicians also become clergymen, be very, very, very careful. Countries where politicians carry the Bible all the time in their hands, like in Rwanda, like in Burundi, they are in Ireland, carrying the Bible did not help. The Bible only helps when truly in your heart you're a child of God, truly, truly. But not to use the church as a basis of politics to drive you into power. That is an abuse of religion and spirituality. Gima atemo wacho